been a little while. I've got some fan mail saved up. Let's get right to it. First up, from the Daniel Skinner, I think I know exactly what this is. And I was correct. A Percy Jackson shirt in preparation for hopefully me being able to watch the full season of the show and wear this delightful shirt while reviewing it. Perfect, even the right size. Next up, we've got a letter from Wyatt Glover. Alrighty, so in his letter, he talked about some stuff going on in his life. I hope 2024 can be a better year for you, buddy. He also asked me, have I ever seen The Never-Ending Story, and what rankings do I have planned for the year? Yes, I've seen the first two Never-Ending Story movies many times. I watched the first one on cable TV. Woo! Sorry about that. Watched the first one on TV all the time. Never actually read the book, but I checked it out from the library quite a few times. And then the second one I saw in the theaters, it's the dad, Bastion's dad, and it was John Wesley Shipp, who's the star of the Flash TV show. So it was actually kind of a pretty big deal for me. So yes, I've seen this many times. As for what rankings do I have planned, you can just look ahead at what franchises are coming out. I'll probably do a ranking for most of the franchises that have a new movie coming out. There's a new Mad Max movie, new Mad Max ranking. So normally it's just kind of as simple as that. And as for big director ones that come to mind for first timers, very likely Tim Burton with Beetlejuice 2, and then very likely Ridley Scott with Gladiator 2. A lot of sequel rankings. We got something from the Daniel Skinner again. Okie dokie. Do we have here? We have the complete 4th season of The Clone Wars. Very cool. Thank you, kind sir. We have this. Oh, this is maybe something different. Oh, I thought it was okay. I don't see a note, so I don't know who this is from, but thank you very much. First up, we got Wes Craven's The People Under the Stairs. I've never seen this one, so this will be a first time watch for me. And then I remember hearing about this one, Knights of the Zodiac one that came out this last year, but like I heard about it kind of after it came out because it was one of those movies that didn't quite get like big chatter beforehand. So, but it was on my radar, I just never got around to watching it. Then we got Violent Night, movie that I absolutely loved from just over a year ago. Then we have, I haven't seen or heard of this one, Crossing Over with Ray Liotta and Harrison Ford, some other people. I'm not familiar with this one. Interesting. Then we have Christmas, Bloody Christmas, a movie from the director of VFW, a film that I praised several years back. I actually saw it, I think maybe at its world premiere at Fantastic Fest. And so then the same director did a Christmas movie, once again, just over a year ago. So just some fun, bloody Christmas carnage. Then we have Black Light. I think this is the Liam Neeson one that came out about a year ago. But I have fun with my Liam Neeson thrillers. That he just makes a genre that I enjoy. They're easy for me to digest and have fun with them, even when they're formulaic, even when they're familiar. They're my kind of thing. Final one on here. This is pretty cool right here. Prey on Blu-ray. It came out as a Hulu exclusive, and so sometimes these streaming services don't like to release their movies on physical media, but eventually they decided to. And I loved Prey. I love the Predator movies, so I'm excited to have this one on physical format. Final one on here, we got a big old box from Marcus Hudgens. Looks like we have some full-blown Christmas gifts in here. Very nice. You can tell I'm running a little bit behind. I hate to run behind on some of this stuff. It's just tough because there's so much. Like I write my videos. I have to watch all the movies, film all the videos, edit them myself. So sometimes I just fall behind with everything I'm trying to keep going. So Okay. Oh, we've got, what do we have? We've got a note. All right, we got several different packages here, but he had some questions for me. If you could own a dinosaur, what would it be? Well, I don't. It's tough to say what you would own as a dinosaur because they're not really pets. So then there's all sorts of implications that come along with choosing to own a dinosaur. But a laser-guided velociraptor, one of those ones from Fallen Kingdom that I could use as like a home security system. Someone breaks into my house, I pull out my laser pointer, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna stop me with a laser pointer?" And then a velociraptor rips their freaking head off. That's the fantasy. Besides Stallone, who's one actor or actress you would like to have a conversation with and why? Actors aren't nearly as interesting to me to have a conversation with because I'm more interested in story than the acting process. So like one of the reasons I'd be interested in talking to Stallone is because he's a storyteller. He wrote Rocky and, you know, has written and directed all these films. And then kind of has his own story that's interesting of his rags to riches. So then it almost feels like the cheater answer, but Schwarzenegger. Because it's not that I want to talk about his acting process or whatever, it's just because he's lived such a crazy, interesting life. From poverty and being the son of literally a Nazi to being the most famous bodybuilder of all time to being the biggest movie star for a window of time to being the governor of the second most populous state. And you go, that's wild. Or is it the most populous state? Yeah, like, that's a tremendous story. He's was married to a Kennedy for 25 years. Like, just a wild, crazy life. There's so much to pull from that. It's such an interesting story to learn from. Besides Spielberg, who's one director you would like to have a conversation with and why? Another one that's easy because it's Nolan. Right off the top of my head, Nolan. I'm more interested in talking to directors and storytellers to figure out where those stories come from, like I just discussed before. And so Nolan in particular, because his gift is he's able to make like very accessible, entertaining films, whether they're weird sci-fi or movies about scientists talking about science. He's able to turn them into something mainstream and able to have an interesting spin on everything. And that's cool. And there's not a lot of people that are able to do that. Favorite cheat meal? In cheat meal being you have a diet, you're trying to be restrictive, so you're able to eat whatever you want. I actually do know the answer to this one. It's pretty straightforward. I get spicy beef and broccoli with hot and sour soup from the Chinese Vietnamese restaurant here in town. That's what I normally do when I'm kind of on intense diet, and then Friday rolls around and it's like I'll get my Chinese food and wife gets Mexican food. So that's actually pretty. Any Christmas traditions? Not really. Not so much. I'm just not that. Like we have our usual way of like we normally go. Christmas Eve is spent with my sister's family, and then Christmas Day is just at my house, and then after like the 26th is normally at my wife's side of the family. But it's not really a tradition. That's just the way we normally schedule things to keep it nice and clean. And name one bucket list item. You know, I don't really have a bucket list. In that sense, I probably should stop and think about that, especially as I get older and I'm in a phase of life where I have opportunities and I can do some interesting stuff. So I probably should spend more time kind of thinking about that, what that would look like. But you know, there's already been some of those things that in my world of what's like exciting, I don't think about traveling to a place. Like I probably should think more like I've never been to Europe. So I'd love to go to Europe or something like that. But like I'm interested in some of the opportunities related to kind of my career of partnering with certain people, and they're becoming a reality. I've done stuff with John Campia, Christian Harloff, Dan Murrell. I don't even know if the video have gone live by the time this video goes live, but I recorded something with Dan Murrell a couple days ago, and these people that I was watching years ago that inspired me to start now view me as a peer and have invited me on their channels. And that's a big deal to me. That's like, I don't think of that as a bucket list. It's just more of, those are the sorts of experiences that are kind of pretty neat to me. So anyway, but we got some other stuff in here. First off, we've got, I guess, a frame from Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's pretty cool. Then we have, well, let me go with these ones first. I guess these are posters. Okay. Oh man, there's so many posters here. So I won't even be able to show you all of them because there's so many. But what is that? What is that one? Oh no. Oh yeah. Okay, that's the horse's eye. Oh. Okay. Like I said, there's like 15 right here, and they're pretty crazy, so I can't show you all of them, but it's like posters for Jaws, Nope, Toy Story 4, so both classics as well as more recent ones. All right. So this one was more all the posters for movies that came out here, and they're like, most of them are like interesting posters. They're not just the traditional ones that everyone else has. They're like these different kind of ones because they're the IMAX posters. And so like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Indiana Jones, as you just saw there, Guardians 3. Okay. Okay. That was another set from this year. Ninja Turtles, John Wick 4, Bullet Train from the year before. Woo, roll down. Very cool stuff. And we have an actual Christmas present from Marcus. We have... Okay. He told me to look in the box, but if you look at the box itself, it looks crazy. What do we have here? Paper. That is a lot of stuff. All right. Okay. A whole bunch of Blu-rays, and quickly looking at them, many of them which I have not seen. Into the Valley of Ella. I don't believe I have heard of this one before, so interesting. It's Tommy Lee Jones and Charlize Theron in it. And then Up in Air, one that has been on my radar for like 15 years now since it came out. I haven't seen this movie yet. I mean, there's a bunch of buzz around it when it came out, but I haven't seen it yet. And then we have The Watcher with James Spader and Marissa Tomei and Keanu Reeves. Another one that I've like seen the cover of and the poster and everything for years and years and years. Never seen it. So like I said, a bunch of first viewings in here. Igor, an animated film that I am not familiar with. Another one I haven't heard of. Interesting. And Keanu, this is a fun one. It's the Key and Peele film that they did. Like before Peele went off to start directing his own movies, they did a movie together called Keanu that is kind of like a riff on John Wick, but as a comedy and involving a cat. I've never seen it though. It's like one of those films that has been on my radar ever since it first came out. Saw the trailer, remember all the buzz surrounding it, but it was just a busy season of life when it came out, so I never saw it. Along those same exact lines, Focus, the movie with Will Smith and Margot Robbie, besides Suicide Squad, another one that is like, oh, I wonder if that's any good, and I've never seen it. So this whole like stack seems to be productions that I haven't seen. We got one coming up I have seen. Robert Kirkman's The History of Comics. So kind of famous comic book writer. I believe that's the creator of The Walking Dead, doing a history of the comics. That is very interesting one. I love that kind of stuff, to just get the history of where it all came from. Final two on here, Easy A. I have seen Easy A, but it has been a while since I've seen it beginning to end. And finally, we have Foxcatcher, once again, a movie that was very much on my radar when it came out, because of Steve Carell and this transformative performance of playing a character so different from Michael Scott, but I never saw the film. So another one I've been meaning to watch forever. Hey, thank you guys so much for your generosity. Very sorry that I was late to check things out, but very cool. Merry Christmas to all of you late, since you guys sent me some Christmas stuff and I just now got it. And keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye-bye.